Welcome back. Moving on to our first segment for today. Well, we're going to talk more on the speech delivered by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on the behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and the speech was delivered actually on the session titled Peace and Stability here in the region, and that was one of the sessions at the TCAD 9, and of course this is the Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Yokohama in Japan. Over the phone we have Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. So first of all, how did you read the speech delivered by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli?
Actually, the speech enhances all sorts of cooperation between Egypt, Japan, and all these kind of gatherings. You know, this conference of TICAD is being held it was 5 years and 3 years. Now they are calling for co-create a dynamic future with Africa. It means that they wanted even to make the communication and the interaction much more closer. And when it comes to Egypt, Egypt really established excellent relationship with Japan, and cooperation goes for sustainable development, for youth and women empowerment, for consolidating infrastructure, clean energy, dealing with climate changes, many things actually. And we have 3 pillars here we built on the Egyptian-Japanese University, the United Nations University, which is really active interactant in this gathering in Japan now, and also JICA. So Egypt is having a very strong relationship with all the institutions, established institutions, cooperation, and made bridges with these important institutions.
Well, is there any specific message that one can say this message is delivered through this speech?
Yes, you know, when you are talking about a conference used to have 10,000 participants and almost more than 40 African leaders, this is the gathering where Egypt can voice out what it wants from the entire world. De-escalation, peace building capacities, and what could be conducive to sustainable developments for everyone. And I think this is a very clear message by the Prime Minister and by the President, of course.
Well, in what sense we can say that the participation of Egypt can be considered as a platform for strengthening the relation with Japan, Africa, and all kinds of files related?
Yes, I think that if Egypt to be a platform, yes, Egypt has been a platform, and you know, while the whole world. The 40, African, more than African and other leaders, about 40 leaders, and these numbers that I have mentioned. And inside this conference, the United Nations University, for instance, is making excellent collaboration with the Embassy of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and is having events to explore Africa's developmental priorities, also and opportunities and the challenges. And in the Egyptian embassy itself, the United Nations University, in collaboration with Egyptian authorities there, making 2 important conferences inside the conference, the big conference itself. One of them is governance in the digital era, and the other one is artificial intelligence and higher education in Africa, and how to advance innovation for sustainable progress in all aspects. So now the issue of artificial intelligence being searched when it comes to education. Yes, this is a revolution of AI, and it has to be regulated, and one of the most important platforms is education. So having conducted these kind of activities on the platform of the Egyptian embassy, it tells you about the importance of Egypt and the importance of the role Egypt is playing. And I think that that a conference within a conference is a very good thing.
Well, talking about the approach, the interdisciplinary of the United Nations universities, could you tell us more about this approach?
Yes, of course. You know, when we are having a crisis, and we'd like, you know, I have been with the planning committee with the United Nations University for 1 year, 1956, 1979, 1997, and I came close to this attitude and the stance. They have interdisciplinary approach because they want crisis prevention rather than crisis management. So a crisis is a complicated issue. It needs to be looked from all angles. You cannot deal with crisis management from one-way ticket. And this is what caused a lot of trouble in the world when you have politicians one-way track-minded, aggressive, zero-sum players. I think that the United Nations University is against that, and the United Nations itself is against that. So it crystallizes this in efforts of having interdisciplinary system thinking way of dealing with crises and anticipating crises, de-escalating, and seeking how to handle the rare resources in our world and how to make it larger, enlarge the pie is an orientation of this university, which cares about you know, the entire world, because the United Nations University was established in the General Assembly and by the General Assembly consent of 193 countries. So the overwhelming majority must have a voice, and this voice must be through all these institutions. And you know, universities are the motive, the great locomotive for development all over the world.
How far does the UNU's research link to the 2063 agenda?
Of course, you have, when you are talking about research, you are talking about issues related to all aspects of development. Sustainable development, the digital transformation needs that. When you are talking about new energy, clean energy, when you are talking about new ways to handle conflicts and to de-escalate conflicts and to think out of the box, scientifically speaking, and with value orientation, I think this is an effort that needs to be supported. And I'm happy that the United Nations University is having a close cooperation with the Egyptian embassy in this particular conference.
And how far can this help Africa to adapt to the climate change?
Of course, when you are talking about climate change, this needs how to forecast, how to foresee, how to predict these changes. You know, climate changes would impact your crops, impact infrastructure, impact so many things. Research should be there to help people deal with these dangerous crises. Climate change crises are so dangerous, and we have seen portions of that, and the tsunamis and flooding and many things with really radical change in the climate. And of course, it needs some kind of awareness. It needs some kind of steps to be taken into account. So I think it is very important to have it with research. It shouldn't be haphazard. It shouldn't be everyone can do what he likes. We are in a connected global entity, and interrelationship and interconnectedness is key for handling these very big challenges that no one country alone can handle.
Right, Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science, thank you very much for joining us. And moving on to a quick break, then we'll be back with more on the breakfast show.